All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High podcast presented by Pin High Media. Sorry for my absence last week, but we're going to talk about the wild weather weekend over at the API at Bay Hill, and we're going to talk all about the Players Championship down at TPC Sawgrass this upcoming weekend. So let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High podcast.
All right, so let's get inside the ropes to start the week. Scotty Scheffler won what was one of the more, carnage and, just like tough conditioned ridden course we've seen in a little bit of time at like a non-major event. And there's like a couple ways you can look at it. You can look at it like, oh, we love to see that because it's fun for golf fans to see it. But you can also talk about kind of how the tournament set that day up and what was kind of wrong with that. But I'd love to hear your guys' take on that.
I mean, yeah, they set up the course like super fast, very, very firm course, but also had that like high rough that like just kept growing throughout the week. And with that's kind of the US Open combo, that's the formula for the US Open, how they make it play so hard. And because of that, the players were struggling. I mean, like guys couldn't hold greens on their iron shots. And I mean, like I kind of like a happy medium, like for tournaments like this, where it's either a super firm course, but the rough's not that high, or the rough's very high, but the course is not that firm. I don't know what you guys think.
I think it would have been more fair if so they set the tees back another like 60 yards total on Sunday on a day where it was already whipping in the wind.
The courses already like had been firmed up the entire week and was like culminating in just a dry, windy Sunday, like you said, high rough. I don't know. It's definitely. I think it's entertaining just because it like requires like the best golf shots like to possibly win that tournament. I think maybe the rough, maybe like not being as thick would have been maybe made it a little bit more like could have even made it more entertaining, just because like it was so penal. But I mean, being that firm, like if it's soft, the rough doesn't even really matter that much. Like if it's that firm, that's what, like I love seeing courses that firm. Riv was the same way, just not the same rough.
The pin locations on Sunday were also wild. I know 17 and 18 are always like that, but like I don't know if 18 is always like that, like to that extent, but 18 was wildly just like tucked. It was unlike anything I've ever seen, because like you see it on TV, but like when you see it like in person, how tucked it is, you're like, how does anyone make an attempt to go for it here and hold the green? And you saw Victor on 18 hit the fringe and kind of get unlucky that ball didn't like go 2 or 3 feet from the hole, but it was a little anticlimactic when you just kind of have like somebody needing to 2-putt instead of somebody needing to make a putt. I know Billy Horschel could have made a putt, but it there's two ways to look at it really, because like it was awesome and like you got a great moment. Like I was on 15 when Scotty Scheffler punches out and like he like maybe went for the green but didn't get it. And then we're like, oh my God, Victor's got a great opportunity here. And then Victor puts it in the back bunker. Scotty somehow gets up and down from, I don't know how far it was.
He topped the shot.
That was a crazy
topped the shot, and he still gets up and down.
The thick rough.
Yeah, that's where I ran into Matt Berger and on all those guys. I was like, I didn't even mean to see them, and I was with my coworker, and we we're just like, you know what? We've been working all week. Let's go watch some golf. And so we roll up on 15, and then I just get a tap on the shoulder and just Matt Berger. I'm like, hey.
I'm curious. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but if you don't, it'd be interesting. How many guys do you think were under par on Sunday?
I heard at 1.3. But I don't know how late in
Who
the
was
day
three
that.
under. Somebody was 3 under.
Yeah, that was Hatton was 3 under.
Hatton.
Patton was 3 under.
4 under was the lowest score. Lucas Herbert had a 4 under round
Yeah.
4. There was 4 scores under par on Sunday. That's it.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
That's like that. I mean, you like you said, that's literally U.S. Open like conditions / numbers.
Right, and it's
Like,
crazy to
and
think that 1 over or even par like won the tournament. I think I tweeted that out at some point
oh yeah,
on the Pin High account, saying like if like whoever shoots even par today is going to win the tournament.
and
And
but
Scottie Scheffler.
who was tied for the lead? Was it Gooch? It was Gooch shot like 44 in the front.
Gooch and
Yeah,
Horschel were
Gooch
tied
was
for the lead.
5
Gooch shot
over.
like 44. Horschel like was still in the contention at the end, but like there are people shooting like 45. Like Zalatoris was like 8 over
Right.
at one point. Like it was ridiculous. Like
And then
some of the
like at one
scores.
point it looked like Gary Woodland was going to take control of the tournament. He made an eagle and then like followed it up with a double bogey, and that just is like heartbreaking for that to happen. And he ended up a stroke or 2 strokes behind. But there
Well,
was some,
Gary Woodland's eagle on 16 was ridiculous. Like from the sand, like all the way to the green, makes the putt, and then he double bogeyed 17, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Right after. So I mean, there was some intrigue coming down the stretch.
No, it was. It was interesting. It just
Yeah,
wasn't.
and Scotty's putt
Yeah.
like on 18 was like it was not like it was a
Crazy
super
putt.
long putt. Yeah,
I-
and he got it like
Puts
within
it
like
right
a
there.
couple inches.
So we were standing on the 18th green after like the trophy presentation, and I'm standing probably like a little bit further than what Scotty's putt was, but it was like probably what would have been like an 8-foot putt. And you're walking on this green, and I don't think like seeing it on TV does it justice, because me and my coworker were like looking at the ground, like it was like brown, and it just felt like you were walking on like a very thin carpet on like a concrete floor. It was like,
You gotta start carrying golf balls around with you in your pocket. So after the round, you just like bounce a golf ball.
You gotta do
It's
you gotta be the guy doing the rough test. Like do like okay, here's how thick the rough is today.
so
And
we actually
you drop
almost,
the ball and like you can't see it.
we didn't want to risk anybody getting mad at us. Not that they would if the tournament was over, but like he was my coworker was gonna pour like a drop of water of his water bottle onto the green and just be like that's the amount of water that hit this green this weekend. No, but like also the course was so dried out because in the 2 weeks that we were down there, it did not rain once, and it was 80 to 85 and sunny every single day.
But
that
I
was
still think it was
not
like
a cloud.
pretty intentional though, that they like if it obviously if it rained, it like you can't control that, but they just didn't water the course for the week. Like they wanted it to play like this.
I think that's kind of like they're like what they realize now is that they can make this course like so incredibly tough if it's especially if it doesn't rain. Like it could be so incredibly firm and fast, like we saw, and like the rough is so thick. Like it's like I feel like they're embracing almost like how tough it is, which is like, and Rory had comments about it, but and like this is like it's almost we don't really see something like this that often besides the US Open, maybe the Masters. PGA is never like it. It's definitely brought the best players to the top two, like Scheffler, Hovland, like Rory and Rahm are top 20. Zalatoris is in there, but like if you have like shoot 44 in the front on Sunday, like you're done. Like that's it.
Yeah.
And like whatever you see it, and it just kind of looks like this resort course, and like resort courses usually aren't necessarily hard. Like I wonder like what other
definitely
courses,
not a resort course though.
What other courses they could like make tougher just by not watering it pretty much and letting the rough grow. Like I wonder if one of these tournaments where they go 30 under, like if they could make it tougher like that.
You can't just create wind though, is the thing.
I mean, the wind
you
was
can't.
definitely a factor for sure.
So
That's why I'm just waiting for a week where at the Players it's going to be like this week is going to be bad weather a couple days. Like I'm waiting for a week where it's going to be like just no weather at all, like or like no rain for like weeks, like just dry and windy and like kind of like chilly almost because you're right by the ocean. Like I'm waiting for that to happen. That will be like this was carnage. Like that will be an incredible carnage, and it'll be so fun to watch in those last few holes too.
and like obviously we love to see like the 5 under like finish, like even par on Sunday wins the round or wins the tournament. It's awesome to see. Like, and from a golf fan perspective, who doesn't love to see that? But also there's like the player element where if like they just get beat up all week and all weekend for that matter,
Like Rory, for
like
example.
Rory, you're gonna get guys like obviously Rom said today that he liked the challenge, but not everyone's Rom. You're gonna get
Like
not
Ram
everyone,
loves everything about like a heart setup. Like
yeah,
that's what he embraces it.
not everyone's the number one overall player in the world. But you're gonna lose guys. It's the week before the Players, which is another schedule change that kind of screws the tournament over a little bit. You're gonna get guys that don't want to deal with that the week before the Players, and you're gonna get guys like Rory that might not come back because they think the course is unfair, and the fans might love it, but the players might not. So
Yeah,
it's just an
makes sense.
interesting little back and forth there because we as diehard golf fans just love to see that because it's just fun to see good golfers, elite golfers struggle.
Can we talk about Victor Hovland for a second? Because this guy found almost every bunker on the golf course, I think, during the tournament, and still finished T2, but he's terrible out of the bunkers. Like, it doesn't look comfortable at all whenever he takes a shot out of the bunker.
That's another thing where it's like that is a fixable thing. So
Right, absolutely.
you're that good, and like you said this on Sunday when you texted in our group chat, you were like, when you can struggle that much in the bunkers and still be in a golf tournament and be the number 3 golfer in the world, it just shows how good of a ball striker you are and how good he's an unreal putter too, isn't he? Like he's like top 40 in strokes gained putting.
His putting got pretty good this year.
I would say that wasn't a strong part of his game, and now he's improved that a lot. Now he just like you hear his interview after the round. He's like he just blatantly says like, I suck at chipping, and just starts like laughing, like he's just like a little like kid like going out and having fun, and just happens to be insane at golf and then just suck at chipping.
But like every time, because I had him outright this week, like every time he hit a shot, I'm like, please don't go in the bunker, please don't go in the bunker, because like you knew if he went in the bunker, he wasn't gonna get up and down. So, and that's just kind of how it was. And like you said, that's fixable. So like there's still like Victor Hovland hasn't reached his peak yet, obviously, and he's still very young, but he's 3rd in the world right now, and he's a terrible bunker player.
He's playing. I mean, he's playing as well as anyone in the world right now. Like 3 wins in his last 8 starts, something like that.
Right, and then you sprinkle in a couple top 5 finishes as well, and he's
3 top 5s, 3 wins.
Yeah. It's just interesting to see a guy not have a part of the game and still play so well. Kind of similar to like Colin Morikawa, how he has like most parts of his game, but his putting hasn't been that great. Like for his
Genesis
so
was
far.
sick.
Yeah, the Genesis, it was good, but like he still like wins tournaments with a part of his game not fully there. So
that's like what like we've talked about before, like with the putting, like all Morikawa needs is like one, like even Hovland too, like all they need is like one hot putting week or like one just like decent putting week, like above average strokes gained putting, and they'll be in contention because their ball striking is so consistent and so good. And that's all it takes. If Victor figures out his chipping, and he's already this good, and he's not as good of a chipper, and maybe not like even as, I don't know, I wouldn't say he's as good of a ball striker as even Rahm or Morikawa, but he's like right up there, right up against that. But if he gets that chipping figured out, like he already is unbelievable, but he's going to be even better.
Yeah. And on top of the tournament, like just being like, good or pretty good finish, obviously like 5 under, like we love to see that. Just like the overall history and like the like Arnold, like all the amount of stories I heard about Arnold Palmer this week and just like how good of a person he was. It was like crazy to me, just like how elite of a human being someone can be. Like that guy just like didn't miss.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't really speak for you, but I feel like when you step at Bay Hill, it's almost like you're stepping into like a different world at some
Yeah.
point.
I should probably clarify like what I'm talking about. Like I started a new job on the Mastercard golf team, pretty much at this sport marketing agency. And so obviously Mastercard sponsors the API. And so I was there for the past 2 weeks. Something that was really cool was that we stayed at Bay Hill. I had no clue that was going to happen. And I walk in and like there's the Arnold Palmer branded like everything in the room, and like there's a Bay Hill ball marker sitting on my dresser, and I'm like, okay, this is golf heaven.
Yeah. So some of the pictures you were saying were unbelievable. Like, and I was so jealous.
Like you step outside your balcony, not my side, but the other side, which is where one of my coworkers was staying, just the other side of the hallway. You step out, it's just the putting green and the driving range, and it's just unreal. Also, the restaurant is called Bay Window in there, and they have this drink that Arnie really liked called the Bay Hill Hummer. Have you guys ever heard of a mudslide?
I've heard of it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what
So
goes
it's
in it, but
similar
I've
to a
definitely heard of it.
mudslide. So I took a picture of it last night because, of course, I had to get one to cap off my time at Bay Hill. Our signature after dinner drink made with Kettle One vodka, brandy, dark creme de cacao. I don't know what that is, to be honest. And Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream. It's basically a vanilla
that sounds really
milkshake,
good.
vanilla milkshake with booze. And it's very dangerous because it just tastes like a vanilla milkshake.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's a milkshake, and they just kind of sneak it in there.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, but like having breakfast in Bay Hill every day, having dinner there and other places. Honestly, the city of Orlando's restaurants aren't that good, but Bay Hill, very good. Was just like a absolute once in a lifetime opportunity. That's just like, it was crazy to do for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that place is. I carried there for my dad a couple years ago, like in the pro-am, and it was the conditions weren't as hard as it was today or was yesterday, I guess.
I mean, on
obviously,
Thursday they weren't as hard as Saturday and Sunday.
No, of course not. We were on a Wednesday, but it was like even we were playing with my dad was playing with Sam Saunders, Arnie's grandson, and it was like people were coming up to him, like talking to him, like about his grandfather. It was such a cool. He was telling us stories. Like it was so, like the history and like everyone there like just loves to be a part of it. It was such an awesome experience.
Everyone loves or everyone loved Arnold Palmer. It's crazy. Like everyone on the property actually just refers to him as like Mr. Palmer. I didn't realize that going in. It's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah, maybe that'll get a lot of the players to keep playing in it, hopefully, because like they didn't do it any justice by putting it right before the players and making it that hard this year.
No, and so the players used to be in May, so not really.
Of course, yeah, that's the whole Florida swing is
not the API's fault, but
no, it's not. No, and that's what we were talking about. We were talking about last week about the whole the Honda. It's unfortunate that like wherever it goes in the Florida swing, it's like, all right, well, guys are going to want to play the API and the guys are going to play the players. And then like the Valspar and Honda are kind of left out for dry. It's kind of like, you don't want to go from all the way across the country to play the Honda and then go play the Arnold Palmer. You're going to want to take a week off. It's kind of a weird dynamic of what players will choose to do and what they won't do, especially the top ones.
So I guess I'll leave it with, have I told you guys anything about, I guess I very briefly talked about the Max Homa hole-in-one scenario that was happening.
Oh yeah, you have
I
to
guess
explain that.
I'll tell that story to end our API talk. So we had this hospitality venue called the Palmer Patio off of the 14th green, and Mastercard every year, or at least this year and last year, I'm not sure the history behind before that, but makes a $200,000 donation to the Arnold and Winnie Palmer Foundation if someone makes a hole-in-one. Last year there was 2 and they donated $400,000, but this year it was the same thing, $200,000, and if someone made a hole-in-one, there's going to be like a special toast, like surprise toast that the player would go into the hospitality venue and like, just like raise a glass for everyone, and everyone would like drink Arnold Palmer. Logistical nightmare, realistically, but cool. And you never know who it's going to be that gets the hole-in-one. Of course, it is a Mastercard ambassador that does it, Max Homa. And we just get a radio. It's just like hole-in-one, Max Homa, 14th hole.
Like a fire drill, right?
I'm just like, oh Jesus. And there's so much that had to come together to do it, but my role, which was just like, so just like I get this like big check, and I'm standing by a porta potty, hiding with it, so that I guess there's not a surprise. I don't know. I mean, like, I'm obviously a 22-year-old working at a company that does all this. I'm not like, I just do the dirty work.
Do what you're asked to do, right?
Yeah, I do what I'm asked to do. I'm not going to act like I do any life-changing work while I'm on site.
Walks out to Bay Hill like he owns the place.
No. And when I tell you this story, you're gonna see why I don't act like I own the place. As I'm holding the sign behind like a porta potty, and like people are walking by like, what is this kid doing? And then finally Max Homa comes over, and they're about to take a picture with the check over by like this Mastercard like sign that's lining the 14th hole. So they're like, all right, after like 15 minutes of me standing there with the check, I walk over, and there's just a circle of like 3 of my coworkers that all know Max Homa. And then I walk up with a sign. It's a very intimate setting. And I walk up, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do right now. Do I say hi? Do I don't want to overstep my boundaries. So I just walk up. I go with the no dialogue option, which was probably weirder now that I think about it. Or not now that I think about it. Trust me, I've thought about it. And I act as a human shield with a sign as we like walk through a crowd to get a picture of him with the check. Absolute hectic mayhem going on there.
Sure.
I described it after I said I was incredibly uncomfy.
Yeah, we should get Max Homa on the podcast to discuss.
Yeah, I would.
He'd probably be like,
Max Homa was definitely going back, saying going back to his caddy and his friends, saying that yeah, this weird kid just didn't say anything as he was handing me the.
I didn't give him the. I didn't give him the sign.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just I don't know. It was the whole thing. I don't know. I got flustered. It was stressful. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, you weren't given any direction.
Yeah, no, not at all. But overall, Bay Hill, great time, fun time. But let's get into skins. If you guys don't have anything more to say about.
Actually, we do have one thing here. I have a People's Champ of the Week for the first time in like.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's get into People's Champ of the Week. So People's Champ of the Week. I saw this. I think it was posted on Monday Q Info, and also on the other on No Laying Up and a bunch of other golf accounts. The Puerto Rico Open happened last week. Obviously it's the second tournament. You don't really see it that much, but it was on the Golf Channel at the end of the round. And the winner of the Puerto Rico Open was Ryan Brem. Now there is an interesting story about the Puerto Rico Open and Ryan Brehm winning. I mean, obviously the Puerto Rico Open has the curse attached to it, but if anyone was to win, I think Ryan Brehm was probably the guy that you wanted to win. I mean, last year he lost his mother to brain cancer, which is pretty sad. And he was also playing on his last medical start, so he needed to win the tournament to keep his PGA Tour card. So he's going out there, and like even if he finished T2 or T3, wouldn't have kept his card. And he ended up winning the tournament and gets to keep his PGA Tour card, kind of like a walk-off win there. So
That's
pretty
wild.
good People's Champ of the Week there.
I didn't know that.
Congrats to him. He won't win another PGA Tour event again, but
he gets to keep his card.
Very
on
cool.
US
He keeps his
soil.
card for 2. Yes, on US
Actually,
soil
dude,
on a Sunday.
I was talking about this
On a
week.
Sunday.
Finau
on a
won
Sunday.
it at Northern Trust. Oh, on a Sunday.
On
Okay.
a Sunday on US soil.
Okay. All right. On a Sunday in US soil. Okay.
Yeah.
Monday finishes.
Monday finishes are completely get fair
Those are
game.
exempt.
If it comes down to a Monday finish at any event, just bet on the guy who won the Puerto Rico Open. He's probably gonna win it.
But what was the tournament? There was a tournament earlier this year that finished on Saturday. Which one was that?
Oh, Farmers.
The Farmers, yeah, the Farmers.
Okay, yeah. The
Victor Hovland,
Finau
Tony
and Hovland can
Finau,
win that.
yeah.
They can win that.
So before we actually get into skins, but it's going to be players talk, I wanted to bring up the whole thing that ESPN Plus is doing this weekend with
every shot, right?
Shot live, which is
Yeah.
going to be absolutely awesome because, say you have a top 40 bet out there that you're sweating, you can just watch them like finish like the whole entire thing. And there's guys that have become kind of like my guys recently. Obviously, Corey Connors, not that recent, but Chris Kirk has kind of become my guy recently.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to, I can just watch them.
Yeah, that's pretty
So
cool.
honestly,
Every shot.
for that helps. Not even like just like wanting to watch your guy in the first couple of days, but like you said, like if it comes down to a bet on Sunday and they're showing like they're not showing anywhere near your guy, but your guy's like, all right, he has a birdie putt on 18 to get top 40. Like that's like people will watch that. People will watch the random feeds just for betting purposes. Like
Yeah,
I'm sure
I feel like that happens every week for us. I mean,
yeah,
especially for me, I feel like it goes the opposite direction every week. On 18, they need like a birdie and they don't get it or something like that.
For me, they just shoot 8
happened
over
with
par.
Maverick,
It doesn't
really?
matter.
What'd you say?
It happened with Maverick McNeely, though.
But yeah, we did have the opposite. Maverick McNeely giving me a birdie on 18 to get me a bet. But yeah, it does come down to it, and I like that. I kind of get like, remember how the Masters has the app where you could like do everything. Like they're kind of trying to bring that
Updates like that.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
I love the Masters app. That's the best app on the PGA Tour. Should just model their app after the Masters app. And I don't know why they haven't. It's so like they literally like you can watch every single shot like that is hit, and it's so awesome. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's
don't
just
understand.
the cameras. Like, I think they just don't have cameras following.
No. Just the updated.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just they have
Well,
shot link, but it's like 2 holes behind.
The PGA Tour website and the app are just the worst. Like
Hire
the
me to
absolute
follow
worst.
Corey Connors group.
Yeah, Pat's gonna be Corey Connors' official scorer, just walking behind.
I'll be the SID.
You
I'll be
should
the
you should
SID for Corey Connors.
Can you do the Corey Connors shot tracker? Oh, is that what you meant? You should be like they have like Spieth tracker and Koepka tracker.
No, that's not.
Tour. You should be Corey Connors tracker.
They probably have that.
You're not dedicated enough.
Can we have I need to be the Xander tracker. See how many times he chokes before he
There's
wins.
definitely
again.
a Xander tracker out
There
there.
is.
There probably is. There probably is.
There's like probably like a Martin Laird tracker out there. Like there's a tracker for so many people.
Cameron Tringali.
There probably is. I'm not joking. You think I'm not serious, but
I don't think
Ches, if you're listening, we'll track your we'll go all your tournaments and track all your shots.
I don't think there's a Corey Connors tracker out there, a Corey tracker.
I feel like there. I don't know.
I just did a quick Twitter search and then didn't find it. So
all right, well we're available. I'll be more than happy to go to every golf tournament and just follow All right, one guy. See what happens.
So would we like to move on to skins?
Yeah. First, a word from Roback.
So you probably noticed us wearing some new Roback merch over the past few episodes. We're partnering with Roback, and we couldn't be more excited. So head to the link in our bio, add the Roback merch you want, and you'll get 15% off just by using the link. So enjoy and crave activity.
Skins. So we have the Players Championship this week, the 5th major. Obviously one of the strongest and deepest fields of the year at TPC Scottsdale. Almost all the top 75 players in the world are usually playing this tournament, so it's a big draw, obviously. And I mean, no better place to have it than TPC Sawgrass every year. Considered Pete Dye's masterpiece golf course, I guess, if you should say that. It's a 7,200 yards, par 72, and there's no 2 holes at Sawgrass that play in the same direction. I think we said this last year, but that's a pretty interesting fact. You have the Bermuda greens, and obviously Trev mentioned earlier the wind could play a big factor in how hard the golf course is going to play. The weather doesn't look that nice this week. We might have some rain, so we'll see how that plays out. There's 17 water hazards at TPC Sawgrass and 88 bunkers. There's going to be pretty small greens, so strokes gain around the greens and strokes gain approach are probably the 2 most important stats. And Adam Scott, course horse, he has more rounds in the 60s at Sawgrass than any other player. So Adam Scott, and he has been playing pretty well recently as well. So that's a guy to look at this week. And just looking at key stats, I mentioned strokes gain approach, strokes gain around the green, and I would say par 4s gained. Got to score on those.
Driving accuracy is really important.
Yeah, accuracy is good,
that's all I saw.
but distance isn't really that big at Sawgrass.
No, it's really, I feel like what I've seen is just like taking your medicine, not taking your medicine, but like playing smart,
Right.
positioning yourself off the tee.
Yeah, agree. And then previous winners, Justin Thomas, also another player who plays really well at Sawgrass. He won last year. No one won in 2020, but we give that to Hideki Matsuyama after he shot 9 over in the first round, and they canceled the tournament. So that sucked for him, but he ended up coming back with a Masters, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy, Webb Simpson, Siwoo Kim, Jason Day, Ricky Fowler, Siwoo Kim, Pete Dye specialist, Siwoo Kim. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the players. I mean, everybody knows the golf course really well by now, and it's going to be an interesting tournament to bet.
So what was I at 0.56 units last week?
Yeah, it goes Pat, then you, or it goes you, then me, then Jeek.
So how much am I up on the?
So Pat is 13.23 units up.
Nice.
I am down 2.35, and Trevor's down 24.95. Last week was a tough week for a lot of our bets, especially I think Will Zalatoris. Pat had the top 30 Will Zalatoris, and what did he go 6 over, 8 over on the last day. Obviously I had Rory McIlroy outright and Victor Hovland outright, as well as a Rory McIlroy top 10. And Rory faded to the weekend, and Hovland was right there till the end and just couldn't get it done. So it was an interesting week for some picks.
Yeah. So I'll start. There are 2 guys on my card that I think the value is just outrageous. Sungjae M is 50 to 1 to win this golf tournament. That is crazy odds. I know he might not win, but that is crazy odds to be 50 to 1 to win this golf tournament. So I have a quarter of a unit on that. Quarter of a unit on Colin Morikawa. Just, I feel like I had to throw it in there. He's so good. I mean, I think he's going to position himself well with like that 3-wood that he loves. He can do it with irons as well. His iron plays insane, and his putting is coming around. So he can win any week of the year. So I got Cam Smith, 36 to 1. I think those odds are very good too. That's not the one that I was alluding to, but that's a quarter of a unit to win 9. And then Corey Connors, 70 to 1.
Has he been playing all right?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't seen him that much.
He was top 10 this week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah.
11 last week at the
Yeah. Yeah, so like those are my outrights. I'm kind of realizing I left someone off my card, but whatever. So for just my regular bets, I got Corey Connors top 40 minus 110, 1.1 unit to win one. Cam Smith top 30 at even money. And I had 2 units on that originally, but I kind of want to put something on Sung Jae to come like top something. Actually, I'll just stick with Cam Smith 2 units to win 2 units. And then I got Chris Kirk top 40 plus 110. That's 0.9 units to win 0.99 units, which kind of sucks that it's not just 1 unit. But Chris Kirk, another guy, his stats this year, if you look at them, are crazy.
Yeah, unreal. He's having a really good year. He's going to win a
Mhm.
tournament soon, I think, just based on how he's been playing.
Yeah,
Two top tens in a row.
exactly. No, he's having a great year. I mean, his strokes gain around the green is really good. His everything's in the top 100. Everything's in like top 60, in the top 60.
I could totally see Chris Kirk in like a final group this week. I don't know why. It feels right to me.
I feel obligated to put him on my card now. No, whatever. That's it. That's it.
All right. I will start a lot of plays this week. I'll start my winners like Pat did. Daniel Berger and Matt Fitzpatrick both 0.25 units to win 8.5 and 9 units respectfully. Fitzpatrick is playing insane right now, like multiple top 10s in a row, has top 10s here at Sawgrass. Berger also obviously played well at the Honda until that last day, had a top T5 at the Century before that, and has top 10s in a T2 at Sawgrass. Or no, he doesn't have a T2. So I was looking at the wrong thing. So I have 0.25 units on both of them. I have Hovland to win 0.5 units to win 9.5 plus 1900. I just feel like he's playing as well as anyone in the world, and he has a very good chance to win. And he played well the year of 2020. It was canceled. He was like 7 under par, I think, that first day. So he can make some noise. Then I'll go Adam Scott, top 30. GQ mentions a core source, plus 130, 1 unit to 1.3. Chris Kirk, top 40, plus 110, 1 unit to win 1.1, has an incredible stats. CT Pan, top 40, plus 290, 0.5 units to 1.45. This is just a gut. Kind of like there's bad weather, and I remember him at Royal Melbourne kind of hitting these like weird, like kind of like creative, like big, like hooks and like fun, like big creative shots. And that's someone that stuck out to me. He's played well at Sawgrass before too. Brooks Koepka, top 10, plus 410. I think he has some really good value this week. Even people are saying it might be the 5th major. So, and he hears the word major, and he turns it on to win 2.1 units. And then I have a couple combo, I guess, parlays, I guess. Any 4, like stick with me here, any 4 of Hatton, Leishman, Siwoo Kim, Fleetwood, or Sergio to all finish top 40, 0.5 units to win 2.5 units. And then my last one is Shane Lowry, Matt Fitzpatrick, Daniel Berger, and Hideki, all top 20, 0.5 units to win 23 units, plus 4,600. So those are all my plays this week.
All right, so I'll get into my picks. Now, I heard your picks, and I actually am going to take a winner from each of you. This wasn't on purpose. It's just what happened before. So I also have Colin Morikawa outright. Found him at plus 1,600. I have half a unit to win 8 units on that. Just reiterating what Pat said, like any given week of his ball striking and, that little 3-wood that he likes to hit, he just fits pretty well at this course, I think. And just in any big tournament, I kind of back Colin Morikawa to play pretty well. And then the one I'm going to steal from Trev, Daniel Berger outright, found him at plus 3,400. I have a quarter of a unit to win 8.5 on that. Just another player who, had the heartbreak a couple weeks ago, probably should have won that tournament, didn't end up winning it, took a week off. He's always pretty good in Florida. I It's just kind of a hunch. I feel like Daniel Berger might win this tournament. Just seems like the type of guy. Yeah. So then getting into the rest of my bets, I'm going to take a round 1 3-ball. So I'm going to take Billy Horschel plus 150 over Max Homa and Justin Rose. 1 unit to win 1.5. Billy Horschel has been pretty good this year. He
In
obviously
Florida.
in Florida, especially. He obviously had a tough final round, but who didn't the other last week? So I think Billy Horschel is going to get back out there and play pretty well in round 1. And I kind of like his chances against Max Homa and Justin Rose. I think Max Homa got cut the only time he's played in this event. So we'll see how that works out. And then another guy who's been playing pretty well, Alex Noren. I have him top 40 plus 145. I have 3/4 of a unit to win 1.09. He has 2 top 20 finishes at Sawgrass, and he's been in the top 10 2 of his last 3 starts. So he's been rolling pretty well. Also like the plus money there to make a top 40. So I'm gonna go with that. And then another guy, I'm gonna take last year's winner. I kind of like doing this. I don't know why. I just realized that, but I always pick last year's winner to do something. And I pick Justin Thomas top 20 minus 120. I'm gonna put 1.25 to win 1.04 on that. Again, this golf course fits his game really well. He's played pretty well recently, and I'm gonna go with that. Sorry, what'd you say? Go ahead.
Just when you look back to like Riviera, he was really good at positioning off the tee there. So I feel like that, like, it's just
Barry Wood.
Yeah, he just didn't have a good putting day.
And he obviously he did that at this tournament last year. So he's just he fits this course pretty well. Like I could see him going back to back. I mean, he's just the type of player that could do that.
a Morikawa and thing, like, you know how you can do like 1 and 2.
Yeah,
that would be an interesting.
That would be an interesting. Once I finished my bets, there was a guy that I missed out on that I kind of wanted to bet, but I just couldn't find a spot for.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to back Corey Connors. So I have Corey Connors top 30 plus 160. I have 0.75 to win 1.2 on that. I mean, Corey, such a good ball striker. Coming off of a T11 last week, like we mentioned earlier, you know, I think he could do pretty well at a tournament like this. And his putting's kind of turned a corner recently as well. So that was kind of the part of his game that was lacking, and he's kind of turned that around. And then my last one, I feel like I have to do this for the players just because it is the players, it is the Island Green. A hole-in-one to be made on the 17th hole, yes, plus 250. I'm going to put half a unit to win 1.25 on that. I feel like I just got to do it. I mean, we had the hole-in-ones at the 16th at Scottsdale. I feel like the people that are like the players for holes like this just come out and something big happens. So we're gonna go with it. I think there's been 8 hole-in-ones at the 17th hole. So we'll see.
Sick.
Any beer game thrown on the 17th green if there's a hole-in-one?
Maybe into the water.
Yeah, in the water maybe. The cleanup won't be as bad. So the one guy that
not very environmentally friendly though, if they're throwing in checking the water.
The one guy that I did want to bet that I couldn't just find a spot for is Patrick Cantlay. I think he could win this tournament.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot about him the last couple of weeks because he hasn't really played in the Florida swing. So I mean, he was so good to start the season, took a couple weeks off. I think he could come back this week and win.
If you really wanted to, I feel like you could throw, like, if you were not looking to bet like some like under some dogs, you could just bet Morikawa, Cantlay, and JT, and you have a very good chance at a triple chance on those guys. I don't know what the odds would be, but
sure there's one.
Yeah, like those 3 are just they're going to be good this week. They're going to contend.
Yeah, you could bet JT, Morikawa, and Scheffler this week in a triple chance. It's plus 380.
Okay, so then Cantlay would be the Cantlay and Scheffler have like very similar odds. It's like 20 and 22 to 1. So it's about 380 then. So
Scheffler's 29 to 1 last year.
Oh. Well, dude, the books are very different.
Yeah, depends on where you go. I mean, I found some interesting numbers.
I saw one on one site for 46 to 1 for Corey Connors and 70 to 1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Odds. Now, one thing we didn't mention about this tournament, and I'm gonna make it the title of this podcast, so we should probably mention it. Yep. How about the purse this week?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Let's get into the clubhouse and we'll talk about it.
Let's get in the clubhouse.
So the biggest purse in PGA Tour history for the PGA Tour's flagship event. $3.6 million to the winner, $20 million purse overall. Last place gets $43,000 and the top 30 all get 6 figures or more.
Yes, this was tweeted by Kyle Porter earlier. I mean, second place, 2.2 million. That's usually like what somebody wins. Like, that's more than what somebody would win at a tournament. We get 1.4 for third place is kind of on par with like what a winner would get. 980,000 for fourth. I mean, the numbers are just crazy. The top 36 make 6 figures, like you said, and
Top 36. Yeah.
and then last place, like you said, 43 grand for last place. Just make the cut.
And Phil wants to leave because he wants more money.
I know, right? How ironic is that?
And now I won't be able to play.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. They had a press conference.
Maybe it's
today,
because
so
Phil wants money for not making cuts, because that's where his game's been.
There's growing speculation that he's not going to play at the Masters.
which
Oh
would
my
be
God.
wild.
I'm pretty sure
Well,
he
you
said
would
he
think-
doesn't think he's going to play.
You would think he would want to play at the U.S. Open. Like that's the last one, but I
Maybe
guess
he will.
we'll see.
Dude, oh, the US Open is going to be so cool.
I need to. I won't be.
So
Here.
cool. What?
I would say I won't be here anymore, but I would love
Yeah,
to
what's,
go.
what's your deal? You moving to Atlanta?
I am. I'll be there Sunday.
Background for Trev next week.
Yeah.
I might not be. I might not be on the.
No more
podcast.
dungeon.
We'll see.
No more dungeon?
No more dungeon.
Nice. Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Your office in Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
Yeah. Mm-mm. It'll be sick. I'm
When's
going
that
to the
on?
game. I'm going to the game Sunday, Atlanta United game Sunday, and then I will be working Monday.
When did the season start? Like recently, right?
Couple weeks
Couple
ago.
weekends ago.
Like 3 weeks, I think, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interview you, but what's the position called again? I saw it on
Ticket operations assistant.
If you want Atlanta United tickets, hit up Trev.
Where to get them?
Yeah. Honestly, you can come down and we'll get. I can probably get like free tickets or cheap tickets.
I don't think I'd be paying that much anyway. They do have.
Oh, their stadiums and they sell out they sell out the whole stadium. It's like the Mercedes-Benz spaceship looking.
Yeah, no, they have a
Expansion-
fan base.
Yeah.
Expansion franchises do well in the MLS. I mean, like I don't know if you saw the what was it?
Charlotte.
Charlotte, they were sold out.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
Charlotte's
That's
a good
really
sports city, low key.
Charlotte's what?
Good sports city.
They are
Charlotte is a good sport. Charlotte's an awesome city just in general.
Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hurricanes are not in Charlotte.
they're in
We're in the Raleigh area.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
Raleigh.
Yeah.
Whatever. Same place.
We should who else we mentioned about the Rory? Like what do we think about Rory?
Oh, right. Those comments. He did say, I don't think it's anywhere in the press, but he did say that when he came off the 18th green, he was like, I know I'm just like venting here because I just came off the green, and then he said all that. So it's like he acknowledged that he's just venting because he's angry at his round of golf.
I mean, Rory's come off the
No,
golf
he
course
is.
angry before. I mean,
Oh,
earlier this
several
year he ripped his
times.
shirt. So
Yeah.
I'm sure if he had an interview
Oh.
right now, he'd have a cooler head.
yeah.
Speaking of that, Matt Jones's putter throw. Did you see
Oh, that was
that?
unreal.
That was crazy. And No Lane Up posted about it, and they posted a screenshot like right as he was at the bottom of the swing. It's like, and they're like Matt Jones really needs to work on getting his left shoulder out of the way more, like acting like it was an actual swing.
I mean,
that
he
was
had to
that
play
was
the
really
last
funny.
6 holes, I think, without a putter. So
Yeah, I mean, he chucked it. I couldn't tell where he chucked it. I'm assuming in the water. I'm assuming you wouldn't just chuck it into the crowd or anything like that. But
hopefully there's no club throws this week on 17. So
Hopefully.
they're
There's always someone.
there
Someone
we've been there
snap.
before.
I hope someone like snaps a
what
little
the-
bit.
Yeah, it was it last year that like absolutely shanked.
Sungjae hit a 10.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Adam.
No, Ben on. It
Somebody-
was Ben
somebody-
on.
Was it Ben on? Somebody
Ben
else
was Ben
shanked
on.
the
Ben
shot
on.
last year.
I saw on Twitter earlier today. Ben on posted like it was like it was a PGA Tour graphic said like, what would you make on 17? And Ben on said somewhere between, or how many shots would it take you to get to 17 green? And he said somewhere between 1 and 9.
So here's what we'll do to end the episode. What do you guys think the high score on 17 is this week?
Ooh.
I don't think it will get to double digits. That's just my.
No, I mean, like,
I think eight. I think
Are we
somebody.
gonna see a shank again? Brendan Todd shanked into the
Brendan Todd, that was who shanked it.
into the flower tree, or like that tree, like 20 yards.
I don't know
off
if
the
you I don't know
green.
if you're gonna see a shank as bad as that. Now
No.
it would have been so electric if Brendan Todd hit it into that tree and like took the boat out there and decided to
Yeah,
take a
that'd be
shot
a
from there.
they wouldn't.
Is
he
it
would
in
kill
I
the
the
really
play,
want to see
actually?
that happen.
Or is that OB?
It's probably OB,
Well,
but who knows?
it
They
might
have a
not be
little
OB, but
rowboat
like it's
out
I think it's
there.
just I don't know. It might be like a flower bed ruling kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's flowers there and everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I think I'll go with a 7. Someone hit in
I
the
got
water
8 on this
twice.
one.
I was gonna say 7, so I guess I'll say 9.
Okay, 7, 8, 9.
Weather player, like we haven't talked about DJ at all, Spieth at all. Xander Schauffele's not
Most
going to win,
accurate
but
driver, which is the only thing.
yeah, he doesn't fit. I feel like he doesn't fit this course that
Yeah,
well.
and, like,
Besides, if he has the driver going, like he can be great if he just has like around the
100%.
greens.
He has the short game. He has is really because he has had the driving accuracy improving this year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
He's also
but
had some like
it's
really incredible ball striking rounds. Just like he's probably like if you look at the top ball striking rounds, like Jordan Spieth probably has one of the top 3 this year.
yeah,
he's just a great like he's not made for a tight golf course. Like he's good at like an Augusta. It's kind
he's
of
gonna
like
get in
open
trouble.
and
He's
yeah,
gonna
like
get in trouble.
he gets into way too much trouble to like make like we said, if he's driving the ball with accuracy, like he'll be great. But and he's played well. He's finished T4 here before, but it's
very
all on
dependent
the
on the driver. Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
if
Jordan
the
Spieth,
driver is
Open
good this
champion,
week,
maybe
gonna be top 5.
maybe Open
yeah.
champion for Jordan Spieth this year. St. Andrews is pretty wide open.
all those courses over there are pretty
Yeah.
wide open.
I could actually see. I mean, we've been mentioning a lot of people for the Open, but like places like St. Andrews like kind of fits Jordan Spieth. Doesn't really matter where he hits it off the tee.
Yeah, he was like one shot out of the playoff that one year. He won the first 2 majors, and then I don't know when Tiger's gonna win the British Open. That's we all know that when he comes back.
Maybe.
Yeah, and Rory's getting his game just fine tuned just in time for the Masters in a couple months,
Yeah,
weeks.
no, we really don't need any more of those like 4 or 5 over rounds from Rory because I could shoot his confidence going into.
I'm good. Yeah, I was thinking about it too. This is like the starting like this week is like the best like month, like my favorite month of sports like ever. It's like players, then there's March obviously March Madness, then after March Madness it goes right into the Masters. It's like that 4-week span is unbeatable in my eyes.
Yeah, I'll be out in Vegas next week, so we'll see if I'll be on the pod or not. But playing a couple golf courses out in Vegas, so see how
Very
that
nice.
goes.
Yeah, and then next week we got the Valspar after this, which is pretty difficult course. So
It is a difficult course.
the Snake Pit, right?
Yep.
Sir.
So yeah, we'll see you guys after the players. It's gonna be a great tournament, and then it's gonna be March Madness next week too. So it's gonna be a great week. See you next week.